Americans are very concerned, and rightly so. This isn't spare change that's being thrown around. $825 billion is a lot of money, and their memories aren't so short that they've already forgotten about the $700 billion bailout plan that was passed just a few months ago. Now, unlike the bailout plan, now the money is supposed to go into healthcare, into education, putting money into the private sector to fuel more job growth. And this takes up 2/3 of the stimulus package, where decreasing taxes is only taking up 1/3 of the package, which has critics of it, and especially Republicans. And James Pinkerton from the New American Foundation talks about how people are suspicious about where this money will be going.
I think that a lot of people in Washington are keeping very busy right now reading the fine print on this legislation and seeing money for arts, education, and sexually transmitted disease propaganda and so on. I think there's a lot of concern that we're about to commit $900 billion, that's the latest number, and it could grow further, to pork barrel spending and shuffling around dollars without the real kind of technology producing economic stimulus that's being advertised. So I think there's a big gap between the PR offensive and the underlying reality of this bill.
This amount may continue to grow, and so I can only imagine that the number of critics of this bill will continue to grow as well. It definitely is a difficult test. It's very time sensitive. This is a dire situation where action needed to be taken immediately. But while the first test was passed, as in the House passing this bill today, it needs to be noted that not a single Republican member voted for it, and the bill also needs to continue to go through the Senate. It's interesting to say that there's one company that doesn't seem to need the help of the government. The McDonald's Corporation is one of the few companies that continue to have an increase in revenue in the last year. So it seems that even though people have less money to spend, then they're more apt to go to McDonald's, get maybe a less healthy meal, but it'd only cost them $1 or $2. Interestingly enough, statistics show that obesity continues to be on the rise every year in the United States. So quite the paradox. Although people are getting poorer, they also continue to get fatter.